Welcome to the Daily English News program in Azərbaycan Televiziya with the major developments of the day. I'm Gülər Hədəmova. On January 14th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham arrived in Ukraine for a working visit at the invitation of the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky.
On January 14th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham arrived in Ukraine at the invitation of the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. A guard of honor was arranged for the President of Azerbaijan at the Boryspil International Airport in Kiev, decorated with the national flags of the two countries. President İlham was greeted by First Deputy Foreign Minister of Ukraine, Emina Japarova, and other officials.
A one-on-one meeting between President İlham and President Volodymyr Zelensky took place. President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, welcomed President of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev.
President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, welcomed President of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev. The President's posed for official photos. Members of the Azerbaijani delegation were introduced to President Volodymyr Zelensky, while members of the Ukrainian delegation were introduced to President İlham Əliyev. The heads of state then held a one-on-one meeting.
Then President İlham and President Volodymyr Zelensky held a meeting in an expanded format.
Volodymyr Zelensky stressed the meaningful conversation with President İlham and expressed his gratitude for the visit to Ukraine during the COVID pandemic. Ukrainian President thanked the head of our state for the support extended to Ukraine, to its sovereignty and the joint projects between the two countries, and expressed confidence that these projects will develop bilateral relations in the future. Today, we discuss energy, infrastructure, food security, transport, military and technical cooperation and other issues. In my opinion, we will definitely sign important documents as the beginning of these joint projects, and we will continue to complete these projects at the ministerial level, said Volodymyr Zelensky, and once again thanked President İlham Əliyev for the visit. President İlham thanked Volodymyr Zelensky for the invitation and said the one-on-one meeting was very constructive. Ukraine and Azerbaijan have been successfully cooperating with each other for many years, and we also defend each other's interests on international platform. Mutual support and protection of each other's territorial integrity indicate to the level of our cooperation, said the head of our state, and expressed confidence that the issues and projects to be implemented will deepen the economic cooperation. Traditionally, we have cooperation in the energy sector. The state-owned company of Azerbaijan Sokar has been operating in Ukraine for many years and wants to expand this activity. There is great prospect in the field of transport, agriculture and tourism. The main thing is that the Intergovernmental Commission will continue to actively analyze all these issues and develop concrete decisions. Both reciprocal visits as well as telephone calls serve to resolve many issues, said President İlham and expressed confidence that this visit will give impetus to the deepening of bilateral cooperation in all areas. Issues related to economic cooperation, including agriculture, transport, energy and food security, were discussed at the meeting.
Following the expanded meeting in Kiev, a ceremony of signing Azerbaijan-Ukraine documents was held in the presence of President İlham Əliyev and President Volodymyr Zelensky.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham Əliyev and President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky signed a joint statement of the Presidents of the Republic of Azerbaijan and Ukraine. Minister of Energy of Azerbaijan, co-chair of the Intergovernmental Commission, Pervez Shahbazov, and Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine, co-chair of the Intergovernmental Commission, Irina Vereshchuk, signed an agreement on cooperation in the field of food security between the cabinet ministers of Ukraine and the government of Azerbaijan. Minister of Economy of Azerbaijan, Mikhail Japarov, and Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine, co-chair of the Intergovernmental Commission, Irina Vereshchuk, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on emergency cooperation in bilateral trade between the Ministries of Economies of Ukraine and Azerbaijan. Minister of Economy of Azerbaijan, Mikhail Japarov, and Minister of Agrarian Policy and Food of Ukraine, Roman Yeshenko, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation in the agrarian sector between the Ministry of Agrarian Policy and Food of Ukraine and Ministry of Economy of Azerbaijan. Minister of Economy of Azerbaijan, Chair of the SOCAR Supervisory Board, Mikhail Japarov, and Chair of the Naftogaz of Ukraine, National Joint Stock Company of Ukraine, Yuri Vitrinka, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on energy cooperation between Naftogaz of Ukraine, National Joint Stock Company of Ukraine, and Azerbaijan State Oil Company SOCAR. Minister of Economy of Azerbaijan, Mikhail Japarov, and Acting Chairman of State Service of Ukraine for Geodesy, Cartography and Cadastre, Serhiy Zavatsky, signed a Memorandum of Understanding and Cooperation in Land Relations, Management of State Property Lands and State Land Cadastre between State Service of Ukraine for Geodesy, Cartography and Cadastre and Ministry of Economy of Azerbaijan.
Following the ceremony of signing documents, President İlham Əliyev and President Volodymyr Zelensky made press statements.
Greeting the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and the delegation led by him, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, said this visit had a big symbolic meaning because it coincided with the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Noting that today they exchanged views on politics, economy and security and signed a joint statement of the presidents of Ukraine and Azerbaijan, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the countries will support each other's territorial integrity and will work for the protection of their internationally recognized borders. Touching on the security field, the president said that the two countries will be dealing with security issues in the Caspian and Black Seas and will jointly fight against terrorism, will review together all the challenges, both regional and global, and develop joint resolutions for them. Dwelling on the pandemic, Volodymyr Zelensky said that despite COVID-19, the bilateral trade was raised to the level of 1 billion for the first time in 7 years, and this enabled to set up even bigger goals for both countries. Noting their desire for joint investments on a number of large-scale projects and their willingness to participate in the restoration works in Azerbaijan, the head of state added that they had agreed on the next meeting of the Joint Intergovernmental Commission in the first half of this year, saying that they also reviewed the transit potential and came to conclusion to intensify the contacts between different state bodies and agencies in order to increase experience in this field. President Volodymyr Zelensky expresses gratitude to President Ilham Aliyev and the delegation led by him. Thanking President Volodymyr Zelensky for kind words, President Ilham Aliyev said he was glad there was a serious progress in Ukraine-Azerbaijan relations. Touching on the high-level political dialogue between the two countries, The head of state recalled that they had met last month in Brussels and President Zelensky paid a visit to Azerbaijan in 2019. Noting that the 30-year anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries will be marked on February 6, President Ilham added that during the independence period, Ukraine and Azerbaijan always supported each other's independence, territorial integrity and sovereignty, and this was also reflected in the joint statement they had signed previously, saying that the two peoples are united by friendly ties and there was great interest to the culture of the Ukrainian people in Azerbaijan, and the vivid expression of that could be seen in Baku. The head of state added that on his initiative, the monument to the great son of the Ukrainian people, Taras Shevchenko, had been raised in one of the central places of Baku, and both the residents of Baku and guests of our city enjoyed their time in the park carrying his name. Saying that Azerbaijan state oil company SOCAR was keen on expanding its activity and this was supported by the Ukrainian side, the president added that currently a network of SOCAR's gas filling stations operate in Ukraine and the implementation of new steps for export of oil and petrochemicals and their processing will further deepen the cooperation. Expressing his satisfaction with the fact that last year the trade turnover increased by more than 20%, the head of state expressed hope that this visit will be an impetus for finalizing this year with good results on bilateral track, and this will be a good foundation for the future. Thanking President of Ukraine for the invitation hospitality, President Ilham invited Volodymyr Zelensky to pay a visit to Baku. Afterwards, a lunch was hosted by President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky in honor of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. With this, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, ended his working visit to Ukraine.
President Ilham Aliyev sent a congratulatory letter to President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Turkey. The letter reads as follows. Dear Mr. President, dear brother, I cordially congratulate you and the fraternal Turkish people on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Turkey and convey my most sincere wishes. The establishment of diplomatic relations with fraternal Turkey on 14 January 1992 was a significant event in the history of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Turkey was the first to recognize Azerbaijan, which gained independence for the second time in the 20th century, and to establish diplomatic relations with it, which is forever inscribed in the national memory of our people as an example of true brotherhood and solidarity. I want to note with a sense of great pride that over the past period, Azerbaijan-Turkish relations have gone through a magnificent path of development. Coming out of historical trials with dignity and held high, our countries have reaffirmed and maintained their adherence to the spirit of the One Nation, Two States slogan. Our interstate relations build on such a solid foundation of the unity, brotherhood and friendship of the two peoples passing from one century to another are at the highest level today. We are pleased with both the mutually beneficial cooperation of our fraternal countries in the political, economic, trade, cultural, energy, military, technological and other fields, and with a successful interaction within the framework of international institutions. The gigantic energy, transport and infrastructure projects we have implemented are a real triumph of our common initiatives and joint efforts. The incomparable successes we have achieved on the basis of bilateral cooperation contribute to the progress of our countries, the well-being of the two peoples and the establishment of tranquility and stability in our region. The signing in June last year of the Declaration on Relations in the State of Shisha, which is ancient cultural center of the entire Turkic world, was a historically important step, once again confirming our infrastructural unity. By defining the conceptual directions for the development of Azerbaijani-Turkish relations, this document laid the foundation for a new stage, opening the way for our future joint success. Dear brother, you have made an invaluable contribution to the development and strengthening of Azerbaijani-Turkish relations, an alliance that serves as an excellent example of friendship and brotherhood and has no analogue in the world. The resolute and ambiguous position that you have always demonstrated on the issue of the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan and the confident support that you have provided for our just cause have always inspired us and given us additional strength. The Azerbaijani people will never forget the moral support and solidarity demonstrated personally by you. The Republic of Turkey and your brotherly people from the first hours to the last minutes of the 41-day Paddock War. And today, shoulder to shoulder with Turkey, we're moving forward in the major reconstruction and restoration of the lands liberated from occupation, which causes deep satisfaction. We, in our turn, will always, in all matters, continue to be close to fraternal Turkey. I'm sure that the exemplary Azerbaijani-Turkish unity and brotherhood, which are the reality and the source of pride for our peoples today, will continue to serve as a strategic roadmap for future generations, as an internal and indestructible heritage. Once again, I cordially congratulate you on the remarkable and historic anniversary. Wish you the best of health, success in your endeavors, and the brotherly people of Turkey lasting peace and prosperity. Sincerely, İlham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. 30 years passed since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Azerbaijan and Turkey. Turkish ambassador to Azerbaijan, Cahit Bakçı, shared a post on his social media. The post reads as follows: "Foundation of relations of the Republic of Turkey with brother Azerbaijan is the combination of the founder of the Republic Atatürk's word of Azerbaijan's joy is our joy, sorrow is our sorrow, and national leader Heydar Aliyev's word of we're one nation, two states," stressed diplomat. Ambassador also noted that the Shusha Declaration signed by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Azerbaijani President İlham Aliyev elevated the Azerbaijani-Turkish relations to the level of alliance. Congratulations on the 30th anniversary of Turkey's diplomatic relations with Azerbaijan. May our brotherhood last forever, stressed Cahit Bakçı. Armenian MFA's completely unfounded and nonsense claim on alleged massacre committed against the Armenian population in Baku in January 1990, the propaganda for hiding historically committed genocide by Armenian side against the peaceful population of Azerbaijan, ethnic cleansing policy brutally killing 613 people in one night in Khojaly, said the spokesperson of Azerbaijani MFA, Leyla Abdullayeva. We should note with regret that stories which Armenians presented as victims formed the ideological basis of Armenian nationalism for decades, and namely this gave impetus to Armenia for territorial claims against Azerbaijan, which led to destructive conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Leyla Abdullayeva noted that at the time when the issues of normalization of interstate relations are subject of discussion, the Armenian Foreign Ministry is against such baseless and destructive statements show that opposing side does not try for normalization of relations. On the contrary, they poison their society with harmful ideas. As for the so-called pogroms of Armenians in Azerbaijan, the investigation materials as well as the undeniable observations of several independent international organizations prove that in fact these were provocative acts prepared by the Soviet special services in the growing struggle for independence and sovereignty of the Azerbaijani people. As known, on the night of January 1990, the Soviet army committed a massacre of peaceful Azerbaijanis, and the former Soviet leadership bears responsibility for this crime. The spokesperson underlined that the events of January 1990 did not break the determination of the Azerbaijani people to independence, and our country restored its independence. Rather than unjustifiably accusing Azerbaijan, the Armenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs must admit the ethnic cleansing policy personally affirmed by the former presidents and gross violation of the fundamental rights of hundreds of Azerbaijanis for decades within the framework of aggressive policy that lasted for almost 30 years. It must admit that the perpetrators should be brought to justice and these crimes should not be recommitted in the future, said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs official. On December 14th, envoys from Armenia and Turkey met in Moscow to launch negotiations over normalizing relations. The negotiations were held at the reception house of the Russian Foreign Ministry. The official Ankara and official Yerevan represented special envoys Serdar Kalic, a senior Turkish diplomat, and Ruben Rubinyan, the deputy speaker of Armenia's parliament. It should be noted that diplomatic ties between Armenia and Turkey were terminated for almost 30 years. After the occupation of Kelbecer by Armenia on April 3, 1993, Turkey has declared the closure of all borders with Armenia, the cessation of air, rail and trade transit links. The new reality established by Azerbaijan's victory in the Patrick War paved the way for the normalization of Turkish-Armenian relations as well. And at the end of last year, the process was started. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.